everyone, and welcome back. I am the Sovereign, and this is my court. If this is your first time, please consider hitting the subscribe button before you leave our kingdom. So, it is a new week, and there has been a lot more content dropped from Miss Universe Philippines, and you guys have definitely been letting me know about all of it in my Instagram DMs, all over every single platform I'm connected to. I have heard you, and we have a lot to get into. Today, we are talking about the introduction videos that we have from each individual contestant vying for one of the most coveted crowns in the world. The introduction video is an introduction to your audience, allowing your country, the people, the public to get to know you, get to hear how you sound and your sense of humor, what you're kind of like. It's very brief, but we kind of get a brief insight into your personality. Now, from a competitor's standpoint, the purpose of these videos is to really endear yourself to the public. You are given a short amount of time to make the public love you, which is kind of what pageantry is in general. When you perform on stage, you have about 30 seconds to make the audience and the judges fall in love with you. This is what makes pageantry so difficult. You've got just less than a minute to win that crown. So this is really a test for those girls to come out of their shells and see what they're really made of, see how captivating they are. This is the time to showcase your charm, your sense of humor, your bubbly personality. You're given just a bite-sized amount of time to make an impression on everyone. And I have a list of women that made an impression on me. I will say that making this list, I think, was the toughest out of all of them that I have made. It's been pretty easy for headshots. It's been pretty easy for all the different competitions and elements that I've seen. This by far was the most difficult list I had to make because I really feel like as a group, there's a lot of speaking ability in these competitors. I think that Miss Universe Philippines has really paid attention to how important it is for a woman to be engaging and comfortable in front of an audience and a camera, because from what I saw, and some of you guys watched it with me during like Instagram live streams where I kind of just like peeked around some of the intro videos for the first time, I can tell within like the first 3 seconds whether a girl is uncomfortable or whether she's doing well. I can see that within like the first 3 to 5 seconds. A lot of the women honestly have not displayed any sort of uncomfortability or any anxiety being in front of a camera. They all seem generally very comfortable, which is not something that I'm used to. I'm used to at least half of the competitors being awkward, you know, being kind of cold or distant or inauthentic. I'm used to that because the girls are not accustomed to being in front of an audience or a camera. So that's to be expected. So when I'm watching these intro videos and a large majority of the women seem pretty comfortable doing what they're doing, it just kind of, it threw me. And it made it more difficult because now I have to up my standards when it comes to level of judgment. So since everyone seemed generally comfortable, I'm then looking for who's really drawing me in, who's really drawing my eye, who's captivating me, who's charming me into loving them. And that's kind of how I just ended up making the list, because a lot of the girls display a firm grasp of speaking ability and comfortability in front of a camera. I am not going to number anybody outside of my favorite top 5 videos because the playing field was so level, because there was such a minimal difference between a lot of these videos. I don't want to like count anybody out because of like the smallest factors that really don't even matter. Like a lot of these girls did really well. So I'm just going to name off maybe 12 or 13 girls that I really think were in the range of having done really well, and all of whom kind of deserve to be on top 10. I would have had a lot of ties. So I'm just gonna read off all of them because I feel like they all deserve kind of a bit of a shout out and some accolades. Like, you ladies did really well. So in no particular order for these women outside of the top 5, I have Bohol, Palawan, Baguio, Mandaue, Victoria City, Makati, and Isabella. And I do want to talk about Isabella because I know that she is not a favorite. I know that she's not really a woman that's being looked at as a potential finalist or winner. I know that, I'm aware. And I don't know, you know, who's a part of whose camp or who's getting training and who's not. I don't feel like Isabella is getting training. I don't feel like she has like a firm team behind her. It seems like she's a girl that's really on her own, but I don't want to discount her in this. Even though I know she's not a favorite, she still deserves accolades when it comes to this segment, this portion of their competition, their introduction videos. She did do very well. She did seem to have confidence and a firm grasp of speaking ability in front of the camera. And I feel like people probably just overlooked that because she doesn't necessarily present as a potential winner. And I feel like personally, one of the worst things you can do to any competitor in a competition is not talk badly about their performance, it's to ignore them completely. When these women are competing, a lot of them don't know how to improve. They don't know what they're doing wrong. And the worst thing you can do to them is put them in the land of obscurity, where nobody's talking about them, no one's acknowledging them, and they don't know why. As a person who's been a competitor in many different arenas and avenues, that is the most frustrating thing, when you feel like you're doing your best. You feel like you are being amazing and no one's giving you the credit for it. No one's talking about you and you're like, why? That is the most like hurtful thing you can do to a competitor. And I didn't want to do that to Isabella because, like I said, I know she's not a favorite, but she speaks really well. But she does not present as a potential queen. She does not have the styling. She does not have the fierceness. She does not have the it factors, that charm, that captivating look or anything. She just needs to step it up a level. And remember, this is pageantry. This isn't everyday life. In everyday life, I can walk around in a onesie and I don't really care what anybody has to say about it. But in a competition where your styling and your look and the artistry behind your makeup and your gown and everything matters, you have to take that into account because it's a pageant. For those of you who don't like it, don't watch the pageant. I don't know what to tell you. It all matters. And as a woman who likes style and fashion and makeup, I like that it counts. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for the creativity, the artistry. So from Isabella, I think we need a bit more artistry when it comes to the overall look. And of course, it never hurts to have a little bit more confidence, right? Let's continue. Did I say Taguig? I should have said Taguig in this. Taguig, I was having a rough time placing her, which, like I said, this list was really hard for me to make. Taguig is a good example of why this list was so hard for me to make. She obviously presents and speaks very well in her introduction video, but a lot of the girls did. There's a lot of competition within the speaking realm this year, if you haven't noticed. Taguig, though, when she's in her introduction, where she really should be trying to captivate an audience and endear herself, we should be getting an understanding of her type of personality. She's coming off as like a teacher to me, a really nice teacher, like a teacher that I would like my English teachers. I love my English teachers when I was in school. She gives me teacher vibes, but during an introduction, you want to do more than that. Like, yeah, people like their teacher, but you want to give off friend vibes. You want to give off some sort of vibe that's going to make the audience interested in you. And I kind of felt like she was a pretty teacher that was teaching me something, and I kind of liked her, but I wasn't truly captivated. Now, Taguig's such a good competitor that even though she may not have the most captivating personality, there's not too much pulling her out of a surefire finalist spot at this point. But if there was anything I did say about Taguig, it would be the fact that she doesn't have this, the nice, engaging, captivating personality, enticing personality that some other women do. Speaking of the other women that do have that personality, let's get to the top 5. At number 5, I have Cavite. Cavite is a woman that displays a very easygoing level of comfortability in front of the camera. I'm pretty sure she was going off of a script, but the fact that it came out so natural and it came out so easy really demonstrates just a level of skill that is needed to be a queen, a top-of-the-line competitor. There will be many, many instances where specifically a Miss Universe Philippines is put in front of a camera. You guys love your queens out there. She's going to be doing a ton of interviews. She's going to have people in her face constantly. She really needs to have an easy presence so that it doesn't feel like she's being overly pressured, so it doesn't feel like she's anxious. This video didn't feel anxious at all. It felt like she was talking to me like a normal human being, and it felt like she liked what she was talking about. It seemed like she was just sharing herself and she enjoyed doing so. And I like that easygoing feeling that makes me engaged and honestly want to hear more. At number 4, I have Ilo, another woman that displayed the same traits as Kavite. She was just a bit more happy, a bit more bubbly, and honestly, just a little bit more queenly. Like she felt like she did this professionally. I don't know what her job is, I have no idea, but it felt like she had done this a million times and she liked doing it, and it was incredibly engaging. I love her, talking about fun facts that she's like a Disney geek. Girl, so am I, but can you tell all the crowns that I have at this point? I love Disney too. It was just like a fun get to know me segment, and I felt like I did get to know her and I liked her. Boosting it up a level is number 3, Cebu Province. All of these girls that are in my top 5 really are obviously very comfortable, but they come off as very happy and easygoing when they tell you about themselves. But Cebu Province kind of bumped it up a level when we get to her. She does not come off as if she's reading off a script at all. I don't know if she is or isn't, but the video and the way that she's speaking really makes it seem as if she's not reading off of a script. And that is skill. That is practice. And that is something that we really like as an audience, is when a woman's words are coming off as authentic, regardless of if they're written down or not. If they're relaying a message to us that seems like it's coming from the heart and directly from her head, we tend to like it more. I don't know if Cebu Province was incredible with her memory and decided to memorize everything she wanted to say in her video, but her delivery was impeccable. Full of personality, totally natural, completely engaging, and it was endearing. Like, she comes off as sweet and knowledgeable, and she seemed like she would be a ton of fun to talk to. There's nothing to not love about Cebu Province's video. This is why this list was so hard, because there's so many women that were so comfortable in front of the camera that I really had to break it down to who was giving the charm, the charisma, the engagement, because a lot of these women can speak and they were very comfortable. It's just like, basically in this, if you're not in top 5, you just got out-personalitied by some of the other girls. Moving up to number 2. As I have said many times before, I am not biased. I'm going to be honest, regardless of if you like it or not. My number 2 spot is a woman that I have unintentionally had to speak about many times this week. My previous video that I uploaded, I had to do a 60-second excerpt explaining certain things that I found and disclosed to the audience. I didn't even state my own personal opinion, but some people really played capture the flag with that video and just ran off into the hills. Either way, regardless of the conversation that I am having and am going to have later this evening, there will be a live stream that is done because it's necessary. I told everyone on Instagram Live that I am not going to obscure my favorites list for any reason whatsoever, even though there does need to be an asterisk placed next to this competitor. My number 2 spot is going to San Pablo Laguna. Like I said, I am not biased. She does display a captivating personality, and it's for this reason that I actually ended up looking into her previously in my previous videos, was because I felt like there was something special about her, and then I found things, but that doesn't take away from the fact that she does have a good personality and she is comfortable on camera because she's been on camera a lot, for better or for worse. In her introduction video, she displayed a charm that was really fun and bubbly and natural, and it was playful and girly. And I understand why that would be very endearing to some people, and I'm not gonna rob her from that. I did mean it when I said that she had potential, but in the original video, I had intended on giving her props and really asking why she would change her look so drastically, because the photo that I had on the back burner of her, I was going to use because I thought it was gorgeous. And then I found out that the photo that I thought was her natural beauty wasn't her natural beauty. And then I delved into this very deep, scary hole about things that I did not want to see during Miss Universe Philippines. I like doing this for fun. You guys know I don't like mess in my pageant happy place. So imagine how I felt getting the equivalent of poop on my shoe. Not fun. But like I said, I'm not going to rob her of the fact that she has a very natural, nice, fun, bubbly personality. That's why she has my number 2 spot on the introduction list. I am very honest though. Do I think at this point that she has a chance, even a chance of being crowned Miss Universe Philippines? honestly, I have to say that I don't feel like she has a chance. And that is because, number one, if the live stream is posted, it should be. Go watch the live stream. There's some things you need to see. But from the perspective of a pageant fan, it is very difficult in my eyes to represent an entire country when you can't properly represent yourself. There's a TikTok that I found and that I will show, but likely this is in the future, that I showed in the live stream that I was uncomfortable with because I do not like the view of watching a Filipina disown her heritage or her Filipina-esque look in favor of something else, but then wanting to go on to a competition to represent other Filipinos. It just seems a little bit wrong to me that someone could think that looking Filipina isn't good enough whilst advocating to represent the entire country. I suggest watching the live stream so you get the full context of everything that I'm talking about here. So like I said, not going to rob this person of a spot on the intro list because I'm going to put her where she belongs, even though I don't expect her to get anywhere near the top of the crowning. When it comes crowning time, coronation time, I don't even expect her to be up there. I have to be honest about that. But she has a cute personality. If she can fix some things in the future, maybe. We'll see. My number one spot goes to Davil del Sur. Yeah. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna make any jokes. It's fine. I'm not gonna say anything. I just made a connection in my head. I'm not gonna say anything. It's fine. Davil del Sur displayed every single trait and attribute that every other woman on this list possessed in one person. She was very comfortable, very articulate. She was super bubbly when it came to presenting herself, seeing her personality, super natural. It didn't come off as forced or memorized or anything, and it was fun. She had all of the elements of a wonderfully put together introduction video, and I loved it. On top of the fact that she had me giggling over her love of coffee. Me and mom get together and have coffee every morning. Some of you guys have seen my IG lives, me and mom doing things, talking about stuff in our onesies, because that's how we get together every morning. We have our coffee in our onesies. Everything about her video was completely and totally enduring. It was endearing. Okay, speak English properly, Devana. Everything about her introduction video was so endearing to me. I feel like I got to know her personality, and I feel like I really like her personality. She's giving me friend vibes, like a woman that I would have no problem going to Starbucks with and striking up a great conversation and wanting to chat with her and talking about things. And like, I feel like I would just adore her. And she's gorgeous and she's beautiful. Like, there's nothing not to love about this video. There's absolutely nothing not to love about this video. And this is why I like making my own favorites list, because I know that some of you are biased. Okay, Philippines, you guys know I love you because you're almost as crazy as I am when it comes to pageantry. Almost. But one thing you guys possess that I don't is bias. You guys will riot. You guys will go to war for your favorite girls, even if she is completely misstyled, wearing a swimsuit that is too big, falling off of her. Like, you guys cape for your favorites, vote for your city, no matter what. And I have to admire the loyalty. Truly, I do. Loyalty is very, very hard to come by. It's one reason I'm single. But facts, okay? So when I look at the fan votes to see who the public voted for, I am well aware that the women that have big social media backings, that have like big cities behind them, they're gonna get a lot of votes. Women that have like huge families, right? All their family's gonna vote for them. They're gonna get a huge amount of votes regardless of if they truly were the best or not. I find it very hard to believe, based on your fan votes, that you guys truly don't think that Davil del Sur did not belong in top 3. Okay? I'm picking up a little bit of bias there, And based on what I know about Miss Universe Philippines, as I have been watching for several years, if some of you didn't know, people act like I'm new to this. I've been watching Philippines for years at this point, okay? I'm well aware. Look, come on now. I know that Davao del Sur is not a region that typically gets a lot of support. Typically, they go under the radar, they get overlooked. So I'm getting text messages. I should have turned my phone off. My bad. That's on me. I know that Davao del Sur typically is not a region that you guys like hardcore support. So I get that, but I'm calling a little bit of bias in this video. Davao del Sur should have at least been in top 3. Girl, I acknowledge how fantastic that introduction video was. You did so good. So good. I did not know she possessed a personality like that, and now I want to get to know her more. So in the comment section below, let me know who you thought had the best introduction videos. Is your list different than like the fan votes or my list? Like, who are you rooting for? Are you one of the biased fans down there warring for your city, warring for your family member, and you're like, no matter what, I am supporting this girl. I don't care how overlined her eyebrows are. I'm gonna support her to the death. Are you one of those people? Like, be honest. I totally understand if you are. And I wanna know, like, who are the girls that are just getting that support and love from the public? Because I don't know. You know I don't know. So leave your comments in the comment section below. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up. And remember, I love you and I will miss you. But you know I will be back and Mom will be coming in future videos. Bye!